Hi girls, just a really quick one. So this is chapter 1 of P3 and it's all about algebraic manipulation starting with fractions. I think it's mainly fractions to be honest, but this is the first part, all operations with algebraic fractions. So it's really straightforward, nothing we haven't done before, but just a little bit of a refresher so we can tick this chapter off before September. So the first part is multiplying fractions. Lovely and easy. There's a quick reminder of how to do that with numeric fractions first, because where you can, it's always easier to simplify and kind of, I don't know what the correct phrase is, like cross simplify. Hopefully you'll see what I mean. But to simplify before you multiply them together is kind of what I'm trying to talk about, is what I'm trying to say, but failing miserably. So I'll use a different colour. So in this example, we've got 3 over 5 times 5 over 9. And we are going to simplify anything that we can first across the diagonals. So 3 and 9 will both divide by 3. So if we do that first, then that makes our multiplication a little bit easier. So 1 times 5 is 5 and 5 times 3. Oh, hang on. We can also simplify the 5 and the 5. They both divide by 5. So now it makes it much easier, and it just means we're doing 1 times 1 is 1, and 1 times 3 is 3. So the answer is a third, and it means we don't have to do any simplifying at the end, because we've done it before we even multiplied. Pre-simplifying, I think that's what it's called. I don't know. Yeah, obviously not so big a deal when you're dealing with numbers. I'm sure we could have simplified 15 over 45 pretty easily. But as your algebra gets more complicated, it makes sense to do any simplifying before you even begin to multiply the fractions together. So here we've got a over b multiplied by c over a. So again, we can pre-simplify by dividing the a's by a, giving us just 1. And then that becomes 1 times c is c over b times 1 is b. Again, easier than multiplying it all together at first and then simplifying at the end. And then this one is going to take a bit more of kind of a few more steps, because x plus 1 over 2, that there's nothing we can do there, but 3 over x squared minus 1, x squared minus 1 is the difference of two squares. X squared is a square number, obviously, because it's got a square in it, and 1 is a square number, and it's a difference because it's subtracted. So we can factorize that straight away, so we get x plus 1 and x minus 1, and then we can pre-simplify the x plus 1s. They simplify out, leaving us with 1 times by 3 is 3, and then 2 multiplied by x minus 1, which is 2x minus 2. That's where it starts to make more sense to do the pre-simplifying, rather than if you then multiply, if you'd started from here and done 2 times x squared minus 1, you'd have got 2x squared minus 2, and maybe found that a bit more difficult to factorize and simplify with the x plus 1. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. And then we're going to look at doing it with division. Just a refresher of how to divide fractions, which I hope we don't need, but just in case. We have to, it's easier to multiply by the reciprocal than to divide two fractions. So we do a over b multiplied by c over a bit of KFC, if you remember that from like Key Stage 3. But when you're dividing a fraction, you're essentially multiplying by the reciprocal of the fraction. That's what we're doing in more mathematical terms than KFC. And again, pre-simplify, so we can simplify the a's to get 1, gives us 1 times c is c, and b times 1 is b. So giving us c over b again. And again, that becomes more useful when you have a more complex expression like the one below it. So we've got x plus 2 over x plus 4 divided by 3x plus 6 over x squared minus 16. So I'm first going to rewrite it as a multiplication. So we're doing x plus 2 over x plus 4 multiplied by x squared minus 16 over 3x plus 6. I'm going to factorize quite a lot there. This first fraction, there's nothing I can do, so it just stays x plus 2 over x plus 4. But x squared minus 16 becomes x plus 4, x minus 4, because it's the difference of two squares again. And then 3x plus 6 becomes 3x plus 2. So now, where we can simplify, we've got x plus 2 and x plus 2, they are going away. They're cancelling each other out. Pre-cancelling, that's what it's called. Oh, goodness. My brain's not really working, but there we are. Yeah, we can cancel the x plus 2 and the x plus 2, and we can also cancel an x plus 4 and an x plus 4. So we've actually got rid of, essentially, that initial fraction, and it's just become 1. So 1 times x minus 4 is x minus 4, and 1 times 3 is 3. So it becomes x minus 4 over 3. Again, much easier than multiplying it all together and then trying to factorize and simplify at the end. Really easy to miss things that you can cancel out if you had done the multiplication kind of at this stage. Yeah, but that's it. There's a really short exercise that I want you to have a go at for today. And then we'll be back on, probably not on Monday, but on Tuesday we'll be back for another lesson. Again, we'll kind of power through this first chapter so we can get it ticked off before the summer. Yeah, so enjoy this exercise. I like a bit of algebraic fractions, it makes me happy. But yeah, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Thanks, girls.